Holdouts. The government must purchase large tracts of land from many owners in order to provide some public goods, such as military bases, airports, highways, and wilderness areas. These projects often demand contiguity, which means that the parcels of land must touch each other. To illustrate, the segments of a highway do not connect unless they are on contiguous parcels of land. Contiguity disrupts bargaining by creating opportunities for owners to hold out. To illustrate, assume that the state proposes to construct a road across three parcels of land owned by three different people. The state determines that motorists would pay $200,000 more than the construction costs for such a road. Consequently, efficiency requires undertaking the project provided that the land's value is less than $200,000. The three owners value the land at $30,000 per parcel. So, construction of the road would create a social surplus of $110,000. Assume that the state acquires an option to buy one of the parcels for $30,000. The state could pay up to $170,000 for the other two parcels and still come out ahead. Knowing this, each of the owners demands $100,000 for her parcel of land. If the state must buy the land, not take it, the project fails. The last owner frequently holds out. When the state acquires contiguous parcels of land needed for a public project, in a real life example, the developers of a new baseball stadium in Denver purchased all the land except for property of one holdout, whom the newspaper called the guy who owns first base. Even when owners do not hold out, the possibility of doing so can drastically increase the transaction cost of purchasing contiguous property. The taking power eliminates this problem. The government should resort to compulsory sale principally when there are many sellers, each of whom controls resources that are necessary to the project. Thus, takings should be guided by this principle. In general, the government should only take private property with compensation to provide a public good when transaction costs preclude purchasing the necessary property. Question 5.39. What if the government needs to purchase a large single piece of property in order to provide a public good, say a satellite tracking station? There's only one private owner with whom to deal, and his property is the only one that is suitable for the station. Should the government be allowed to compel this individual, a monopolist for the contemplated public use, to sell at fair market value? Question 40. In Kalo versus City of New London, 545 U.S. 469, open 2005, close. The U.S. Supreme Court decided a case in which landowners challenged the power of a city in Connecticut to take their property for redevelopment. The redevelopment plan did not contemplate that all of the land would be open to the public. Parts would be privately developed. The plaintiffs alleged that the taking was unconstitutional because it was not for public purpose. The Supreme Court rejected his claim. Use economic analysis to argue for or against the view that such a mixed development plan should be regarded as serving a public purpose. For some recent cases like this one, see WebNote 5.9. Question 5.41. Compare the efficiency of the following two methods of amending the just compensation constraint. A. Define just compensation to be fair market value, including relocation costs plus, say, 20%. B. Allow private property owners to make their own assessments of the value of their property. Property owners agree to pay property taxes on that self-assessed value. If the government ever takes the property, it agrees to pay the self-assessed property value as just compensation.